Welcome to Ozarks Fox News at 9. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jennifer Abreu.
And I'm John Adams. We start off tonight with your top headlines. These stories are real new now. In a party-line vote, the House of Representatives voted today to hold Attorney General William Barr and former White House counsel Don McGahn in contempt of Congress due to their handling of the Mueller report. Republicans, however, say federal law and executive privilege prevented Barr and McGahn from turning over all of those documents requested by Congress.
Canada will be banning all single-use plastic items like bags, straws, and utensils by 2021. According to the Canadian government, a truckload of plastic waste enters the oceans every minute. In late March, the European Parliament passed a similar ban on single-use plastic items. In May, the United Kingdom followed suit with a plastic ban by 2020.
And the man suspected of shooting former Boston Red Sox slugger David Ortiz has been identified. 25-year-old Eddie Feliz Garcia was tackled by bystanders after the incident on Sunday night. Police say the bullet went through Ortiz's stomach. The former baseball star says he doesn't know Garcia and doesn't know the motive behind the attack. Well, making local news now. In the last few years, CBD products have become popular in Springfield and stores have popped up in every part of town.
Now you can add another place to that list, but it's not a place that you would normally think of when it comes to these products. It's Family Video. That's where we find our Jesse Inman. Jesse, how do these products become a part of this business?
Well, yeah, guys, I talked to a store manager at one of the locations today who told me that the president of the video rental chain actually used these products to help with some of his elbow pain and realized that, once they helped his pain and relieved some of that, he thought, why not get it on their shelves?
Our company decided to investigate and really get into the research of what is available.
Christy Clark has been with Family Video for about a decade, but this month the company decided to put something new out on their shelves. CBD products meant for pain relief and relaxation.
Convenience is what makes it a little bit easier. People come in to pick up their products, their movies every week. So now they can come in, they can get their movies, but they can also pick up whatever it is they're seeking for their health issues as well. Normally people just come in, they are inquisitive about the product.
They offer it in several forms, whether it be in creams, drops, or beverages. Now, in the era of on-demand and streaming services, you may think that video and video game rentals are dying, but Clark says they aren't even close to rolling the credits.
We still do a great business with our rentals. We have quite a few people who follow us on a regular basis, come in every single week when the new movies come out on Tuesdays. This is their place to go. They don't want to go to a box that they have to stand in front of in the heat or the cold, and they don't want to have to worry about whether it's available in the box.
But those who shop at Family Video have mixed feelings on their newest venture.
I don't really like that very much. I feel like that is creating an environment where we can get drugs so accessible to us and just scrape by that bare minimum to make it legal. And so that's actually making me rethink shopping here because I don't want to support a group that's doing that.
CBD, it comes from hemp. It's not a marijuana product, so I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Video stores, they seem to be dying by the wayside, so anything that can keep them around a little bit longer. There's still a lot of people that can't do streaming, can't do on demand, so that they fill a nice niche.
So employees here are no longer just in the video rental business, they're also in the CBD sales business, and the manager told me that their employees actually have to study and take a test over the products so that they know what they're selling, and anyone who buys a product can just look at a tracking number that comes on the bottle or capsule and track where it came from all the way to the sale that was made at the store. And we'll send it back to you guys in Springfield. Jesse Inman, Ozarks First.
All right, Jesse, thank you. Well, new at 9 tonight, a Springfield man is facing federal charges in a $1.4 million bank fraud scheme. 66-year-old Michael Wilhoit was charged in a 36-count indictment by a federal grand jury. The indictment accuses Wilhoit of getting bank loans to buy and resell cars, but investigators say he submitted false sale documents and used money he received from local banks for other purposes at least 12 times between 2014 and 2018. The indictment charges Wilhoit with 12 counts of bank fraud, making false statements to a bank, and aggravated identity theft. According to the Springfield News Leader, Will Hoyt is a former owner of an exotic-looking home near Lone Pine and Battlefield that's been called the African Queen.
U.S. Marshals arrested a man who has been on the run for almost 2 years. James Esslinger was convicted of sexually assaulting a woman in Battlefield back in 1998. He was on parole in Kansas City until he fled in 2017. Law enforcement then got information he was in the Springfield area. They found Esslinger on West Commercial Street earlier today and arrested him.
And a man from St. Joseph, Missouri has been indicted by a grand jury for meth trafficking in Taney County. Andrew Trammell was charged today in Springfield. The federal indictment alleges that Trammell was in possession of 500 grams or more of methamphetamine with the intent to distribute on June the 6th. According to an affidavit filed, a Christian County Sheriff's deputy attempted to stop Trammell, who was driving on Highway 65 near Highway EE. He failed to stop, and the deputy pursued him until he crashed in Branson, where he was taken into custody. Officers found a box on the floorboard of Trammell's vehicle that contained approximately 6 pounds of methamphetamine and a large amount of cash.
A woman who was supposed to be in charge of a charity for police officers is now being accused of stealing money meant for a paralyzed officer. Angela McMunn was a former head of the Jefferson County Police Charity. Authorities say she came up with a way to help Officer Mike Flamian, who was shot and paralyzed from the neck down. Court documents state McMunn used the charity's account to buy T-shirts and claimed the money raised with the sales would benefit the officer and his family. But instead, prosecutors say McMunn stole at least $1,200 between August of 2016 and November of 2017. They say she spent the money on personal expenses such as volleyball fees, subdivision dues, and loan payments.
Well, making educational news now, Drury University students can now access the tools to a smooth and successful path to graduation from their first day of school. Drury University is opening up a new center in the fall, and our Frances Lynn is here to tell us about the new Compass Center. Frances, what did you learn?
Yeah, so the Compass Center will bring together academic advising, career planning, and learning support. So the goal is to provide all those services together from day one. Students will actually be assigned a mentoring group to help them get the tools they need to succeed academically and planning for a future career. One of the reasons they're starting this program is because a lot of students are afraid to ask for help.
They've grown up in a environment where they can get on YouTube and just pretty much learn everything, and so that's the way the world is now. But there's still a place for having key mentorship in your life, for having those sounding boards, for having those people that you can ask questions and really figure out, what do I want to be doing with my life? Where are my passions?
Now, Frances, where will this center actually be located?
So eventually the university will build a new building for it, but for now it will be where the career planning office is.
All right, Frances, thank you.
We have some good news for you now. The Sertoma Chili Cook-Off Committee took their earnings from the cook-off from earlier this year and gave it to the Boys and Girls Club in Springfield.
And Sertoma Chili Cook-Off is a staple in this community, and without that funding, there are thousands of kids who would not have the experience they do at the clubs now. So we're incredibly grateful for it.
That check was for $124,000. The group presented a check at tonight's Springfield Cardinals game. The Boys and Girls Club says the money will support the new music recording studio at its Henderson unit, the club's mental program, and its teen job training program. The funding will also help pay for vehicle building and technology improvements, a basketball league, and a summer teen program.
And moving on to Christian County for some more good news. 2 Christian County deputies helped an elderly woman who did not have any air conditioning. 2 deputies, along with 2 chaplains, went to the 94-year-old woman's home, finding it to be 88 degrees on the inside. The sheriff's office donated a new AC unit and installed it for her in her home.
Moving on to weather now, Jamie. Will we be needing our AC units this weekend?
Well, we won't need them until this weekend, but yes, once we get into the weekend, we're back to warm and humid conditions, and we're also back to a much stormier pattern. In the short term, we're also looking at a chance for storms by tomorrow morning. A look at that in your forecast after this break.
You're watching Ozarks Fox News at 9 with John Adams, Jennifer Abreu, and weather with Chief Meteorologist Jamie Warren.